Elizabeth Holmes, the ambitious young founder of Theranos, appeared to be on top of the world only a few years ago when she attracted some of Silicon Valley's most prominent investors to her groundbreaking blood testing startup. However, these dreams were abruptly crushed when damaging reports and lawsuits revealed that Theranos had reportedly exaggerated the effectiveness of its products, deceiving consumers and even doctors. This is a cautionary tale of what may occur when ambition is unchecked, regardless of how grand one's aspirations may be. Hello and welcome to the Amuse World. Today's video will examine what went wrong for Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos. Before starting our video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Now let's get this video started. The story so far. Forbes magazine proclaimed that she was the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. The cover of another business journal referred to her as the future Steve Jobs. In 2014, Elizabeth Holmes, at 30 years old, ruled the world. She was a Stanford University dropout who claimed to have established a $9 billion company that would revolutionize disease detection. Theranos claimed that its Edison test, which uses only a few drops of blood, could promptly diagnose diseases such as cancer and diabetes without the need for needles. On the board were figures such as Henry Kissinger and James Mattis. In 2015, however, the seams began to unravel, and Holmes was exposed as a fraud within a year. The promoted technology was ineffective, and the firm she founded in 2018 collapsed. In January, a California jury convicted her guilty of 4 counts of fraud, each carrying a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. The jury found her not guilty on 4 additional charges and was unable to decide on 3 others. Holmes, who had pleaded not guilty to all charges, requested a retrial, but her request was denied. She was given a prison term of 11 years and 3 months. Who is Elizabeth Holmes? In 2003, Ms. Holmes was in her first year in the School of Chemical Engineering at Stanford University. The woman was 19 years old at the time. She dropped out to found Theranos, formerly known as Real-Time Cures. Her initial plan was to create an arm patch that could detect infectious diseases and release antibiotics to treat them, but the product never materialized. The former CEO was born into a rich family in Washington, D.C., and both of her parents were Capitol Hill bureaucrats. People who knew her as a teenager described her as kind yet reserved. Holmes began dating Ramesh Balwani, a software developer 20 years her senior, shortly after leaving Stanford. Later, Mr. Balwani would invest in Theranos, become its COO, and ultimately become her accomplice. During the trial, Ms. Holmes testified that Mr. Balwani subjected her to sexual and emotional abuse during their relationship. What did her firm Theranos do? After its founding, Theranos conducted operations in secret for a decade before revealing its blood testing technology in 2013. The Theranos website claimed that its technology could diagnose more than 200 medical conditions, including cholesterol, thyroid, herpes, and even cancer, in just 15 minutes using a testing gadget called Edison to analyze just a few drops of blood obtained through a finger prick in a nanotainer. The innovative testing technology of the company was inspired by the fact that Ms. Holmes was scared of the needles used to draw blood for lab tests. She believed that this discouraged many individuals from undergoing testing. Ms. Holmes experienced a quick but brief climb to stardom in Silicon Valley about this time. Her claim that she had discovered an innovative technology attracted influential investors and board members. Her company was valued at $9 billion at the time, and she owned a $4.5 billion stake in it. In 2015, Forbes dubbed Ms. Holmes the wealthiest self-made woman in the United States, and magazines rushed to feature her on their covers. Her black turtlenecks had previously prompted comparisons to Apple's Steve Jobs, but the cover of Incorporated magazine dubbed her the next Steve Jobs. What went wrong? In 2015, a whistleblower highlighted suspicions about Theranos' flagship testing gadget, the Edison, and the company's business began to fall apart. The Wall Street Journal ran a series of damning articles suggesting that the results were inaccurate and that the majority of the company's testing had been conducted on readily available devices manufactured by other companies. Lawsuits piled up, partners left ways, and in 2016, U.S. officials prohibited Holmes from operating a blood testing service for a period of 2 years, and 2018 marked the end of Theranos. In March of that year, Holmes agreed to settle civil charges brought by financial regulators alleging she illegally raised $700.0 million from investors. She and Mr. Balwani were arrested 3 months later on felony charges of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Prosecutors alleged she intentionally misled patients about the tests and totally fabricated the firm's effectiveness to financial backers. As the Theranos trial drew to a close, commentators remarked at how firmly Holmes clung to her original story, and those who knew her claimed she had not changed. Elizabeth's experience teaches us all the importance of staying within our bounds and living an ethical life. In light of recent events, her once famous statement that all great accomplishments were the result of deliberate action rings more true than ever before. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on the video? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time. We'll see you later.